Here's Sloan into the pocket. Eddie, Harbrow, Eddie. You're a magician! That's what the crowd wanted, and that's exactly what they got. Vintage Eddie Betts.
Welcome, Ghost fans, air conditioners and inanimate carbon. Rob's Elliot, and here with Two Crows. What are we now here? At round 5, 6,
round
7,
5,
8,
heading
episode
into round
7.
6.
Wow, episode 7 too.
Yeah,
Eddie
it's been
Betts.
a busy year today, Alex.
300. Eddie Betts.
What a goal.
Hashtag.
#TwoCrowsS03Ep7. Alley.
Oh, it's nice to be back in the winner's circle, isn't it? Trotting around like a little
Razor
pony.
blades are back in the cupboards, Alley.
Medicine cabinet doors can be unlocked and left unattended.
Throw the key away for the...
Well, at least 2 days, 3 days. At least. Oh, isn't it nice to be back winning?
Beautiful.
Makes you feel so much better.
It does. It makes you feel a
Wind
lot
up
more
my Easter.
happier inside. I don't know how a game of football can dictate your
Oh no, it doesn't.
mood.
How many people out there tweet us if you does the football result for the Adelaide Crows affect your mood for the weekend? Because
it's quite sombre sometimes, Ally.
It's been very sombre lately, but as you can hear, we're a little bit up and about. Anyway, the intro there, Eddie Betts kicking 300th game. His 6th goal.
Kicking his
300th game. He kicked his 300th game right off the Adelaide Oval.
You're a bit pumped.
I am a little bit pumped. How was that goal, though? It has to be goal of the year.
How does he manage to keep that ball?
Left foot.
He controls the ball so well.
Left foot, his non-preferred foot. Outside of the... Yes, he always means it.
No.
If you and I kicked it, where would it have gone?
Oh, it would have been...
out the ground.
It would have hit the cathedral church, Harry.
That's it. And missed all the goalposts on the way through. Oh, God, no. How fantastic was it to see Eduardo Betts back in action?
No.
Actually, the Adelaide Crows back in action.
No, that was really good. Impressive by us, Sally.
I think
We changed things up.
Reasonably all played well.
Yeah, no.
Reasonably?
I think they all played well. Flag went up, Ally, I think. Look, there was a couple there that had a shocker, but that's,
yeah.
Lynch.
He redeemed himself later, though.
Nah, second half was good.
He had a shocker. No matter what he did.
He was the opposition.
The connector, I was calling him the disconnector, because every time he kicked it, it'd go the opposite direction or
he was
to the wrong person.
Opposition's best player.
He was for a short period of time. Oh, well, I tell you what, Eddie Betts, little man in his big game on the big stage, lights it up, and his brother-in-law gets a tattoo of Eddie's face on his butt.
Fancy that.
Oh, but I wished it wasn't the little, it's off of Eddie Betts's The Be Kind, My Kind book.
The homies or...
Yeah, Eddie's little homies.
Yeah.
I reckon it should have been like proper Eddie's face.
I reckon.
But at least he did get it done.
Reckon.
True to his word.
No, man of integrity.
Integrity. He said if he kicked 5, I would have been going, well, he didn't kick 5, he kicked 6 and try and worm my way out of it.
Well, his next bet, I don't know if you heard that if he kicks 8 or 9 goals, he has to get another Eddie Betts face on the other cheek.
Yeah, I think he's just pushing the luck now. He's trying to get Eddie. He doesn't care. If Eddie gets more goals, he'll have like Eddie's face all over his butt about 20 times.
Stamped.
He wouldn't care. His tramp stamps Eddie Betts' face. That'd look funny, wouldn't it? You bend over.
Ooh.
Eddie.
Mate.
I bet you he's going to pay him out for that. You can explain that to your kids, but that's his own business.
His brother-in-law was up bright and early for the tattoo as well.
Yeah, I bet you he was feeling while he was still a bit shiny. I reckon.
Shine.
I reckon he was still a bit shiny.
Well, they had a pretty good celebratory party post-game, Ali.
Good on him though. 300 games.
Yeah, I think the football. Actually, Ali, I just want to commend the football club in Carlton also. The way they've celebrated Eddie Betts' 300th. I thought the club in particular, the Crows, was fantastic for that entire week leading up to the game.
Brilliant work.
It was really like the content.
Videos,
it
the
was
content.
Really good.
Yep.
Really,
and Carlton getting in on it and sending out tweets and photos.
And I know post-game they had a private function on for Betts as well in the Cathedral bar or that other bar at the Adelaide Oval.
But the kids wearing the little Adelaide Crows and Carlton thing. I don't think I've ever seen a player that celebrates his old team and his new team as much together.
Yeah.
Which, you know what, Eddie, you deserve all the accolades you get because you're a champion human being. Yeah. That's what.
And it was good seeing a smile on his face.
It's good to see a smile on everyone's face, including ours.
Oh,
we're sitting back. And guess what? You know, the Crows set the Suns. You like that?
I do like that.
And troll the Pear. Hashtag 119. Never forget. Being its least we forget today for Anzac Day. So, doing an Anzac Day special podcast. We're working on a public holiday, Ant. But it is after 12.
Are we getting paid penalty rates?
No penalty rates. The penalty. Bugger. But we're doing it after 12, so other places are open. We left it till an appropriate time.
Right.
But I got to mention something, Ant, off the top. A couple of people jumped in here, but the Nostradamus boots that we were wearing last week.
We were on song,
We were kicking goals. We were Eddie from the pocket.
Oh, we were.
So if anyone doesn't know, last week someone posed a question to us, Tom I think it was, what can the Crows do to get things back on track for the season?
Yeah.
And Ant and I came up with 5 things.
And they were solid ideas, Ali.
Yeah, well, I know that surprises most listeners. If you listen to us before, us having solid ideas is not a common thread, is it?
Just doesn't go hand in hand for Two Crows Footy.
It doesn't. But the first thing we talked about, number 1, first give. They have to start doing first give.
Yep.
Number 2 was body language, because I get antsy about that.
Do.
Number 3, Ant, you said Don needs to coach from the bench. You've been banging on about that. Number 4, I come up with sort your shit out.
Yep.
That was pretty straightforward. And
Lynch didn't get that memo, but that's
and number 5, which I don't know how it related, but it helped, was Ant said we need an open training session. And before I even uploaded the podcast, guess what the Crows have tweeted out? Open training session. I'm like, oh God, Ant must have known about this beforehand and make himself look smart.
I had
and
no
clever.
idea, Ali.
Oh, here comes that plane. I think it's bringing us presents. But so what happened? First give. Let's think of the game. Did we do better at first give?
We did.
Definitely.
It wasn't this rushed.
And dancing around in circles with the ball.
Going backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Making stupid decisions.
Yeah, so first give was on the cards.
Correct.
Body language.
Yes, they were on their toes.
Oh, up and about. Didn't have their hangdog expressions wandering around.
Their back was up nice and straight and they were out.
Well, it's just the defenders especially I found, and they're just dropping their heads. And when they walk back, it would walk back instead of like jogging back and things like that. Number 4, sort your shit out. I just said that one.
Well, I think they had that circle of truth.
I think they listened to Anthony. Don on the bench though, that was great, and he did it. That worked. Sort your shit out. Obviously, we won. And an open training session. Ant will take that every single day of the week. So anything we need to do this weekend while we're cracking on in?
Just go out and play the same way they played on the weekend.
Yeah, but
on Saturday.
You've got to be allowed to play that way too.
Well, that's right.
But the players were onto it.
They were onto it.
And they were up and about.
They were up and about. They looked fresh. They looked fresh, they did. They looked fresh.
Can I pose a question? This is going to be treading dangerous ground. Do you think, and this is being brutally honest, do you think the omission of a player, did that impact the team? Do you think that had potentially? Potentially, I agree.
Did it...
Was it...
well, we won by 70...
Was it a fulcrum? You like that?
Oh, yes.
Did it provide the leverage?
Jeez, look how.
Yeah. Swallowed a dictionary for breakfast. You wait till I go to the toilet later.
What'd you...
I'll have a lot of alphabet soup.
You got some hemorrhoid cream there, Ali?
No prep H. No prep H.
Did it...
Oh, coffee machine switching on.
That's just David McKay's go button, Ali.
Hitting it again. Someone found that too.
Did it dictate the nuances of our game style, Ali?
Yes. I think it did. Yep.
Mm.
I think it changed the way we played and the way
particularly that forward half pressure.
Yep.
That was probably the best I've seen.
And I think the players got out of each other's way.
Yeah, the separation.
Yep.
Good separation.
That's it.
Good separation.
And
I think it was Mark Prosciutto who touched on it during the call, and he's spot on that. Tex Walker is the type of guy and the type of forward that relies on good ball movement. Yep. And if he has eyes with the kicker that's coming through the midfield, and if he can get that lace out, but also I did notice he was separating a lot better from his opponent.
He had a good opponent.
Who was it?
Collins.
Collins, was it? Yeah, right.
Because Collins was getting into him.
So I thought the midfield delivery was a lot better as well.
You know what contributed to that?
What's that?
Lowered the bloody eyes.
Won't blaze
because
away
Tex
with it.
can't see it coming in.
If it's sky high.
If it's up trying to hit clay birds, like you're shooting something, pull, bang, psh. Stop doing those aerial dump out kicks because to me they're just like, if I kick it in the forward line, my job's done.
It's kicking hope, isn't it?
I kick it in the forward line, there's a stat and I've got the job done. No, you haven't. You've got to get it to a player.
Yep.
and we stopped this 5 people going for a mark.
And you're spot on, and it was also the same in the midfield. I thought their contest work in the midfield was really, really, really impressive.
And they talked to each other.
They did. They communicated.
Even if it was their body language.
They weren't all going for that same ball.
Mm-hmm.
They stood back from each other.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed one to go in or 2 to go and get it.
But they also held the space.
shepherded.
Yep. They also held that space. Now, the inclusions that we had
Which is teamwork.
Hugh Greenwood came in.
Absolutely.
And the Berg came in. That was the only 2?
Yeah.
Yep. I thought Hugh Greenwood had a great impact on the game.
Yeah. No, he did. He did.
I thought he had fabulous
his
impact.
Pressure in the forward half, but also his, I guess, defensive pressure around the midfield.
Sneak it in through around the post.
And it released Hugh Greenwood across half back.
It released Hugh Greenwood across half back? Hugh Greenwood playing
Bryce
forward?
Gibbs, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, Hugh Greenwood plays for Hugh Greenwood. You're as bad as me.
Sorry.
And Bryce Gibbs, he can probably stay back there, I think, a little bit longer till he learns as well.
He just,
it's like trotting Ben Hart out for a presser until he learns. He hasn't learned yet. Don't even start.
Surely.
He hasn't learned yet, has he? What do you do? Trot Ben Hart out. I was surprised he came out on a win. I thought they only trot him out for losses until he learns. But,
it's interesting that he's the main man for them at the moment.
Yeah, I think until he learns.
Until he learns. Hashtag TwoCrowsS03.
Oh, because he said JJ played fantastic. He played good football in the SANFL, and I'm like,
well, does he
know the game was live?
And we could actually see how JJ was playing. Like, he was awful for 3 quarters.
Oh, poor JJ. It wasn't a good game, but we can get to we'll mention JJ because it's been in the media a bit.
He did what we were looking for.
I want to know what they were looking for. Because that's the only way to answer that question, really. Because what you and I were looking for were goals and forward pressure.
Pressure and stop being...
And being mobile and agile around the ground. It can't have been what they asked for. Non-statistical statistic.
Stop squibbing contests.
But non-statistical statistic,
yeah, that's
maybe
right.
it was?
That's a David Noble line.
That's what I think. If he trots that out...
And by the way, how did we draw that game in the SANFL? They were up by 49 points.
Yeah, I was watching that. I think it was my fault because I started watching it at half time.
Dad and I were looking at each other thinking, geez.
But the midfield dropped right out of it. They just took control. Absolutely smacked us in the midfield.
And it was a draw, honestly.
And you know what? They got the ball in the last second of the game and the siren blew just before he kicked it and it was a point.
Correct.
Oh, funny. I call that...
My mate plays for them, by the way, for South.
I haven't got any friends, but fair enough.
Get stuff. Jake Summerton.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, number 22 for South Adelaide.
Yeah.
I used to play for the Eagles.
That was their second draw in a row for South Adelaide.
It was.
Anyway,
2 weeks.
Talk about it. Let's get back to this Eddie Betts show extravaganza that it was. What else did you like about the game? How did we win? Where did we go from crapola City to trolling Port with a final score of 1-1-9?
Who did we lose against the week before? North Melbourne, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah, shambolic.
That was
a shamble.
Disgusting game.
How did we do it, Ali?
Clean ball movement was one. Didn't sit there in handball for 30 minutes before moving.
Didn't kick sideways and then...
We did do a few back switches.
Well, we didn't do a lot where it was...
Crab work.
Yeah.
Didn't play fiddler crabs across the field.
That was silly, because...
But they played more a natural game, so like...
Instinct, there we go. Instinctive? Well, Betts was instinctive.
Yeah, but isn't that what we were saying? We questioned, we're Nostradamus again. We said about playing instinctive, that would...
It's a pretty simple game. If you can play to your one wood.
If you play to your one wood, you're always playing with your one wood, but that's another story. Sorry, that was there. You open the door, I only walk through it.
True.
But the clean ball movement, the movement, like you said to Tex, it was lace out. How many bomb kicks did you see? And they were mainly in the first quarter, I think.
Yeah, but but that's because the opposition, actually both teams were closing up very well on each other. So it provided that contest where I thought, oh heck, I don't really want to get in on it. Bit of an arm wrestle with this club because they've
been playing well.
They've had the ability to win those close games.
They have, yes. They've been a lot of really...
That's what I was worried about. Yep. I just thought our turnover work was impressive. The way we forced the opposition into turnover and to score from turnover was super impressive. To go back the other way, go back through them to score was really impressive.
Here we go. We kicked 14 of our 18 goals from turnovers, directly from turnovers.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a huge amount.
That's the Crows of old.
And that's the Crows of old. And secondly, then, the old Crows of old, contested possessions, because you know how crap we were at that. 169 contested possessions, the highest for any team in round 5.
Wow. Well, I know internally, that's a good statistic, Ali. I know internally, Ali, they hold that That's one of their biggest KPIs is the contested ball. That's what they hold true to themselves as a football club is their contest work and the contested ball. That is purely and simply their KPI they look at is contested ball and ground ball.
We've been shite at it.
We've been terrible. And they've let themselves down for a number of reasons.
I think you're very fair. Well, who else's games did you like? Oh, wasn't it good to see Smithers running through the guts and kicking that ball?
Kicking balls outside 50, Ali. What do we say on Two Crows Footy, Ali?
Needs to kick your balls outside 50 because you can't defend them.
Can't
defend outside 50.
If you hit them,
even Betts hit one 35-40 direct in front of his non-preferred area.
Now.
Oh.
Did you see David McKay when he come out of the centre and hit that ball to Eddie Betts in that second quarter? But Eddie Betts didn't want to give the ball off. He actually went back and hit the set shot. Hallelujah.
That ball movement from D-Mac, someone found that go button, gave him a crack on the ribs again. He was off.
He was off, all right.
He just missed. I had him in for my 3-2-1, and he got some votes. And had someone else. We argued some more. Then we watched the game and picked someone altogether, different altogether. That's what we do. But we agreed on the third person.
Compromise on Two Crows Footy, Ali.
We do. Usually Anne ends up agreeing with me, and it's a good compromise.
I'm shaking in my
true,
boots.
Isn't it? It's true.
It's true.
But it's all good. It's all good. What else we like? We had Bubba Smith. I thought Tex did some really nice things. He took the most contested marks inside 50. No, most marks inside 50.
You're telling the story.
Eight marks inside 50.
8. That sounds about right.
Yeah. There you go. There's the top of my head. I tell you what. Here's someone that went at 100% that I just...
Yeah, this surprises me.
Riley O'Brien.
I liked his work, Hallie.
Against Jared Witts, that's no mean feat.
Is that his third game now?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I thought against Jared Witts, he's been playing really well. At one stage, they looked at the hit-outs and the winning them, and it was 1 to Witts and 8 or 9 to Rob.
Right.
Now, in the second half, unfortunately, Witts caught up. He started playing Rob differently. He just started coming at him and things like that. And Rob probably got a bit tired. But he competed around the ground.
He got in the right spots, Ali, which I really liked.
Times in a row now.
He just put himself in a position where I'm going to take it for my teammate.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
And it also, what I also really seen in his game was he offered that outlet mark down the line. Yep. Whereas in his first 2 weeks he wasn't providing that for us. But
I think he's getting confidence.
I think with these new rules, if you can get a mark down the line, it opens the game up for
you can either
massively
switch it, you can just move it quickly. We move the ball a lot quicker.
Yeah.
We stopped dicking around with that, pardon the expression, but that's pretty much it.
I felt that our kick-to-handball ratio was a hell of a lot better as well. We weren't doing these stupid handballs, which...
Yep. Now, that can work. You need to learn how to do those handballs to get you out of a certain amount of trouble. We did have some really nice...
Around the contest, I totally understand it.
We had a lot of ones with players, like, on the ground, handballing out about 3 or 4 times, but get it to a kicker. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or if that person's being tackled, they were kicking it as they're being tackled. Yeah. Brad Crouch loved his game again. Loved his game. The pressure at the ball carrier.
There was a ball around the contest.
Absolutely. I loved his work, and it was great to see him back. Rory had another great game.
Yeah.
Of course, Eddie Betts, well, you know.
See, I liked Alex Keith's game.
Keithy.
He's turning into a bloody good defender.
I think
he's good at intercepting and good at reading the ball in flight.
He's really taken Hardo's spot.
And he's not afraid. Yeah.
And I think Hardo's a little bit lost now because he's coming in and doing that role. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It released Kelly on the wing for some reason.
Yeah, you said that he was playing, and he came forward. He was cheeky because he couldn't quite get that goal.
Did he try? Yeah, that's right. I thought.
You saw him have that little wry smile. He's got to get rid of that freaking haircut, though.
I was thinking, did I dream that, or did he really try and have a shot on goal? Yeah, he did.
He's like Luke Brown, my Lukey coming down here trying to have a sneaker shot.
Yeah.
He's still a couple weeks.
No, he is, right. Yeah. You're reading my mind there.
Yeah, I can hear you thinking from here.
No, I liked what I saw, Ali.
As long as we can keep that momentum going forward and don't fall...
I think we win this week.
Okay, yeah, we'll come back to the tips for that later. Well, let's get into our 3-2-1.
Yes,
so
we agree here.
For 3 points...
Yes. can't go past the one and only Eddie Betts,
Eddie Betts, 300 game man. Woo!
Goal of the year.
Goalie, has to be. Has to be.
Yeah, no.
I'll just pick that one. And I thought fabulous
and
game.
if you haven't voted,
he got up
vote.
the ground. No, he's already won this week. He's got goal of the week already.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Spud, I think, got mark of the week.
Oh, that was courageous. He opened himself right up there.
Oh, he could have got split down the centre, and he just turned enough.
Just turned at the
to
right
take that.
time.
Very clever. Number 2 for 2 points for the Two Crows Footy Player of the Year for the Adelaide Crows, Bubba Smith. How good a game did he have? 2 goals as well.
Game 150.
Game 150. Everyone keeps forgetting about that. Sorry, Smithers. Game 150.
That's no mean feat.
Not at all, considering he's come back from an ACL as well.
Absolutely.
Like that, missing a year of football.
Yep.
I thought he always seems for me to have been around forever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's one of those players where you go, God, he's been around forever.
When was he drafted? 2010.
I don't know. Got no idea. And this is the one that we had to change our minds. And originally
I went back to bed.
Keith.
Woke up, went back to bed.
Oh, so what the hell are you talking about there?
And finally come to a decision.
Yeah, so you picked originally.
I originally picked Keith.
And I originally picked D-Mac because I wanted him to have some props. He did some great runs. He did try to tackle
And then, Ali.
And then we watched the game.
I come to the Two Crows footy headquarters.
What?
We watched the game together.
And the winner is
Spud Murphy.
Spud Murphy. That pressure he put on, especially that first quarter. The marks, not only the one where he got totally cleaned up, but he took another big aerial contested one that was right in the centre of the ground. Yeah. And crucial point of the game. And he kicked that our first goal.
Right up, 6 seconds on the clock to go. Yep.
And it wasn't an easy kick.
Oh, heck no.
And everyone else had bloody missed, so it would have been easy for him to miss and just go, oh well. Went back, took the shot, got pumped up, and
that got us going.
Got 3 goals for the game as well. So a little Spudley, because I've ridden him when he's played crap, so I'll also give him props when he plays.
But he hasn't been one of our worst either.
No, he had that one really shocking game. But we've had a few more that do more than that. So, and then we'll move on to the Hurt Locker Award.
Yes, now, who did you decide
2 nominations this week. 2.
2?
First nomination.
Jeez.
Fortunately going to be out injured for a little while. My boy, Wayne Miller Jr. Because he took that hit.
He did.
He took that hit hard, and I thought, props for that, Junior, but...
It didn't look...
It hurt.
It hurt. Clearly it hurt. He's going to be out for a month and potentially longer.
My prediction is...
Operation?
Yeah, and then 3 months.
And back for finals.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm betting on. Oh, it's him, though, broke my heart.
So, no, he had a good game.
Second nomination. Spud Murphy for that mark where he got cleaned up. And that guy gets cited for that?
Harborough.
Yeah. Or fined?
No.
Because they paid a 50-metre penalty.
Good question.
Probably a fine. I don't know if it's just getting that up. I don't think he did because we would have heard about it.
I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure.
Surely that would have been close to being cited though. But Spud got up, and could you lip read him? You watched the replay. Could you lip read?
No.
Because he let Eddie get the goal, and I swore, and I could be wrong, but he said let him kick the goal, something like that to the trainer.
Oh, really?
He goes, "You okay?" He goes, "I'm okay." Let him kick the goal. I'm like, Spud, I love you.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, cheers, Spud. Cheers, Spud.
No, so, Jared Harborough.
And the Hurt Locker winner.
Excited.
Hurt Locker winner for this week.
Yeah.
Spud Murphy. Just for that alone, getting Eddie a goal, taking a hit for the team, and a very courageous mark where he could have been knocked 6 ways from Sunday. In fact, he could still be laying on Adelaide Oval, waiting for that, what's that little ambo to weave in and out for people to come and pick him up?
The little car.
Yeah, weaving around. I need a drink. Reboot myself at the moment. So, anything else from the game you want to talk about?
No, but...
Great game.
Good game.
Great game. Good game. Love the game.
Good game. Don Pike, just remain on the bench, buddy.
Yeah, so the bench. Clarko's been down there still.
Yeah, that bench is going to have its own...
I think they're going to have an extended bench.
Extended bench.
Something that you spoke to me about, you really liked how Pikey interacted with the players, especially like Tex and Rory was up on the boundary line talking to him. I really like that.
I liked it too.
The accountability as well for the players. You can't just come off. If you know you're done, you got to go in and cop it. But Pikey was a lot calmer there.
Yeah, he was. He was. He looked good with the headset on.
Yeah, I don't really care what he looks like, but, fair
but,
enough.
I like that interaction between him and Tex. There's a lot of talk about, that
Tex and him go Don great, and Rory.
players aren't happy with Don Pike, etc., which I call
probably only one.
bullshit.
Probably only one.
But I just like that there was an exchange there with the two where Tex come off for his break and Tex sat next to Pike and had a nice little smile with each other.
And they probably had a good conversation about how the ball was coming in and everything else like that, because he can then say, it works both ways, because a player, instead of just getting it through to a trainer, he's actually telling Don Pike himself.
Yeah.
Instead of it being filtered, and they might just go, players whinging.
Cuts out that
I'm going to tell them that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the message becomes
consistent.
clean. Because otherwise there's a problem with how the message or what the message is being transferred.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. And the fact that you don't, runners can only go out between goals. And what about if you're going to have a goal for 15 minutes?
Well, we had one goal for the first quarter.
That's right.
There you go.
It's difficult. It's really difficult.
So I don't mind that at all.
No, I don't mind it. Because I think we have in the past relied on the... That's my take.
A lot of clubs do. Yeah,
my take, I think we have relied on the runner.
Yep. Well, I've got it. Should we move on to the next segment there, Anthony?
Yeah.
Pass
the salt.
Oh, gotta get the salt shaker. Gotta run out here. Oh, God, I've moved the bloody thing. Oh, no, Ant. What am I going to do? Oh, don't worry.
The salt. Oh, the salt's here.
Oh, here we go. We've got a few nominations this week.
I'm not quite as dehydrated this week.
You're not? No, surprisingly, I feel like a little drop of rain has hit my tongue. I'm fine. Don't tell me it's raining outside. I'll bloody pass out from excitement. Here we go. Ready? Couple nominations this week.
Yes.
One was from... Just keep the salt going here, man. Sports SA. One of our little favourite ones there. Bernie's one of our favourites. But the other little floggeroony on there, the other commentator.
Fireman Sam.
Fireman Sam. Backwards fireman. Had a little crack at the Crows for using leading teams.
Oh, he wouldn't know who they are. He just...
But we've used leading teams before, haven't we?
We've used them for a number of years.
And Hawthorn used them.
And Sydney used them.
The Tigers had them as well. Sydney used them. I think Collingwood, even had them at one stage.
Yeah, like Geelong
used them.
I think Geelong got them in the year where they had a shocking year in 06. So that year they got leading teams in. 07 they win the flag by 120 points.
I still think we do need that sports psychology in there. Everyone thinks now, because of the old collective minds thing, that there was problem. People still forget that there's some of our players still went back to collective minds off their own bat because they actually got something out of it.
Beneficial for them.
Exactly. So stop trying to put all sports psychology in the bad basket when it's beneficial. It's just how it's managed, and I think they've learned from that. But leading teams are quality.
They are quality.
Your saltiness was about the medical things, and now your salt's coming up about leading teams. Just put
what, Ali? The Crows keep Kane on a job.
I think so, and I think that's why he loves us so much. My second one, this is my first salty McSalt, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is Craig Hutchinson. Do you want to talk about this one?
Yes. So Monday night I was watching Footy Classified.
Yep.
Now they do a segment called
Hutchie's a wanker.
Yeah, that segment. And they basically asked the question to Caro, or it might have been Matthew Lord, one of the two, said that Mark Rasciuto should not commentate Adelaide Crows games.
And why would that be?
Because apparently he was being a supporter.
Oh, for God's sake.
He was barracking for them, Ali.
Rue.
Get stuffed.
Rue, honestly, gets smashed by Crows fans for not being biased enough. Because he's so, what's the word? Objective? No.
Too impartial?
Yeah, he's too impartial. He probably goes the other way, though. So he tends to crack the Crows more than other.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go down that path, Rue, I've watched the game again.
Well, hang on a minute.
You know what he got excited about? Brad Johnson nearly jumped out the bloody window.
The whole commentary team nearly did, Ali. They were nearly...
They were going off. And when Eddie kicked that goal, all of them, you could hear, they were waiting for that moment. You could hear them.
They were
like, please give that.
Something.
Give us something. Give us something.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. And if he did, you know what? Like Ant says, get stuffed. We've been listening to Eddie Maguire. We listened to BT. Oh my God. Commentator game.
BT.
He is so biased. And I'm like, come on, guys. Come on, guys.
What about Matthew Lloyd when he's on 3AW and commentating your Essendon games? I've heard him before. Go and get
Robert
stuck.
Walls and them on there?
What about Robert Wall sitting in the Carlton coach's box?
Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean? Like, rules for some and rules for others.
Exactly.
Like,
no, rules for Victoria and rules for interstate.
Interstate teams.
That's all it is. So, you know what, Hutchie?
I'm sick of it. Have some salt.
Have some salt.
Have some salt on your eggs.
Now, those two are worthy winners for the Pass the Salt Award for the week. But no.
Oh.
We're actually going to go to our own backyard, Anthony, for the next one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here's my nomination, and I think a worthy winner, even potentially. I've got to get your thoughts on this. One, JJ.
Oh, yes. Yes. Have some salt.
Oh, JJ. First
Josh.
of all, that's it, Josh. Couldn't think of his first name for some reason. I was thinking JJ. Josh. Can I call you Joshy? Joshy, look, you come out and said you understood if Pike would drop you, and there was about 11 others that could be dropped too.
12 others, he said.
12 others could be dropped, including himself. He got dropped. Guess what? Not happy. He was dirty.
I'm not happy, Jan.
He was not happy, Jan. He had the white pages and the yellow pages and threw them out the window at Pikey's place on the way down. Oh,
I'm so dirty.
but do you know what I mean? Like he said, I understand he's allowed to be dirty about it.
It's a bit hypocritical.
Well,
because, you know...
No, he's allowed to be dirty about it.
One week he comes out and says, yeah, you know,
I could be dropped.
I could be dropped and 12 others could be dropped.
But
and then he gets omitted.
No. But he was the only one. I think that's what he was dirty about. So he was...
his game's been shit.
Yeah, I know
How
that.
simple as that?
I know that. But I'm just trying to give him equal perspective.
I understand.
He wasn't happy about it. And so what do you do if you're not happy about it? What would you think you'd go back and do?
I'd go back and work on my craft.
And what would you'd smash out a game?
Oh, absolutely.
Like little Miles Paholke did. Wanted to play AFL
4
again.
goals.
Smashed it, especially that first up. Smashed
he's
it.
on fire.
With JJ, I'm thinking, how many goals did he kick? His disposal, the body pressure. Because Ben Hart said he did exactly what they wanted him to do.
Oh, Ben Hart.
And he hasn't learnt yet. And so I went in and I poured through the stats. I watched half a game of the AFL and I was like, where's all these JJ goals? Because he thinks he's a Monty to come straight back in.
But
and
this is a guy from the leadership group,
Wait a minute. 11 possessions, okay, yeah, fair enough. Forward must have how many? Oh, no goals. Oh, how many tackles did he?
How much pressure did he apply?
Must be one of those non-statistical statistics. Because, honestly...
It was putrid.
Oh, no, I'm not going to go that far. Not going to go that far.
The first 3 quarters was putrid. He thought in that last quarter, I haven't touched the ball yet. I better get up and do something. Look, I didn't even side him in the forward half, Ali.
He had to come up the ground. He came up the ground to get the ball and get a kick. No, the ball wasn't going in there, let's be honest. And
that's first half. Second half it wasn't.
Second half it wasn't.
But he should have, when we were on fire, he should have
he's even come back and said, he should have been a big contributor. Absolutely. So do I personally think he's done enough? No.
Donuts.
Did the Berg do enough? He kicked a goal. It was his second game only. I'd leave him in another week.
And first game for the year at AFL level.
Or...
What?
I'll talk about my or later, so...
Well, I thought he was good around the ground.
JJ, do you reckon he'd be who's the saltiest out of those 3, Ant?
I think JJ is.
Yeah, good old Joshy. I think you can pass the salt. You can be the winner of this week's Salt Award.
Salt on you. Salt.
Go drink a bit more water, get a bit more Gatorade, get some more electrolytes into you, Joshy, because pull the game apart. You know what? I will stand there and applaud you and open the gate for you to walk back in at AFL level.
He doesn't warrant his spot at the moment.
I reckon he needs 2 or 3 games in the SANFL, monster the game, and stay in the game.
We've seen him firsthand.
Stay in the game for 4 quarters.
Yep.
And if it's not down that end,
Impact.
Get down in the other
Impact.
end.
Impact.
Well, we don't know what the Crows have asked him to do.
Oh, well, Ali, we've seen it firsthand, him scribbling contests.
No, you've never forgiven him for that. But anyway, he's the winner. Pass the salt. Josh, done, all done. Right.
Pass the salt.
Pass the salt.
That segment is over, Ali.
I think we've really done it that time. Okay. What are we going to come up to now? Any sidebar news?
Any sidebar?
Well, I have some more sidebar of a topic that I'd like to cover.
Yeah.
We can go into more detail, but this is one for people to think about. I think it was Luke brought this one up to us. Sent us a little, sent us a private message and just sort of asked a question. DMPM. His question was, about the mid-season draft. Okay. So I want you to start thinking about this, Ant. Okay, so I've sprung this on you. So it's just, We
There's
have
a few
one
holes.
spot for Dudes because he's ACL out for the year. So what do we do? So the questions are: do we go like for like? There's the first bit. Or do we go totally different?
No,
do
I think we go like for like.
You think like for like? Pikes has actually already come out and said, just because I waited for you to answer, that it may not be like for like. Do we know
So what's
yet?
Haggis got up his sleeve then?
Do we know yet the exact holes we need to fill, so to speak?
No.
Because I would have thought initially you would go, we need another defender, wouldn't you?
I think we do.
But if Luke Brown's coming back in, you've got to have a look at who can come back in.
That's true.
I would have thought a speedy midfielder. Okay, just for me, I've already decided the type of player that I would go and get. And I'm going to give it to you in the name of another player so you can work out the style and what attributes I'm looking for. Will that help?
Okay.
So these are the attributes I'm looking for in whichever player the Crows pick up in the mid-season draft.
Okay.
Charlie Cameron.
Right. Okay.
We haven't replaced that.
No, we haven't.
Fast, midfield,
Elite.
sneak forward, also been playing down back.
Yep.
But speed,
So we want another Indigenous type player.
Doesn't have to be Indigenous.
I'd like another Indigenous.
I don't just group that into it like that, but I want someone that can play like that.
You want someone who can break the lines, basically.
Yep. Someone where you give the ball to, there's a bit of a X factor excitement about it, but can really can turn a game with 5 possessions.
Oh heck!
Yeah. No.
So there's a guy up in the Northern Territory with the name of Cyril Rioli.
Yeah. No.
I just thought I'd.
No. So that's the question. That's me.
Well, maybe we can go and look around in the Neefle Alley.
Well, you're saying Neefle could be looking anywhere.
No, but there's nothing in the SANFL.
How do you know? You haven't watched any SANFL games?
No one's.
Now, it's just starting to come out now. Like, people are starting to think about it, you see. So,
yeah,
have a think about that. That's one of the
questions
questions
there. Well, it'll be interesting where Haggis is looking.
And also, Luke asked a question about...
so, we've got access to one player.
Yeah, because ACL out for the year. Okay. So, it's not just an LTI.
And do we have the opportunity to keep them on the list?
I think that whether you get an option to draft them, but you might have to use some points, sort of like an academy thing.
Academy type
thing.
So
sure. But the AFL, they're
so
playing
are we able to go to an academy?
Oh, I
that?
doubt that.
Okay.
That's a good question though, Ant. Can you write that down? That's a really good question. Because that wouldn't be fair, would it?
No.
But then they would argue that if they've groomed them and brought them up, you shouldn't have access to them. We need our own academy. I'm just saying, putting that out there.
Why don't we have our own academy?
I don't know, because the AFL won't let us.
No, of course.
And the next question is looking at, a bit early. Luke's gone early on this, on contracts. The players that are out of contracts, keep, trade, DS.
I think we had a list.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a list that's been sent, but that's just one for us to think about, because I think we've got plenty of other little bits and pieces we can talk about. Any other bits and pieces in there that you would like to discuss, Anthony?
No, not really.
Cool.
Not really, Alan.
So we'll come back to that. And can I mention something that I'm really going home very extremely happy about this? AFLW.
Yes. Oh, great news here, folks.
24 players signed on. 20 of 21 AFLW Premiership players have signed on.
Because Jenna McCormick is left.
Jenna McCormick is placed on the inactive list.
Oh.
Yes, she's on the inactive list. Yes. So she can come back.
And Ruth Wallace, Ali.
Yes, and my favourite, apart from Erin and Chloe, and that as well, and Eloise Jones, and Danielle Ponther, and Ebony Marinoff, and Chelsea Randall, and just a few.
Jess Foley.
Yeah, Jess Foley. Yeah, but apart from them as well, had she, apart from all that, Foley's.
That's Ali. I
Ruth Wallace coming back. Ali's a little bit happy about that. Take Chloe Shear's spot. Yep, straight up. And
it's a nice
Chloe's
list.
already to keep that many players.
It's a nice list, Ali.
So Erin's got nothing till February to decide what's going to happen, but she's going to give it her all. It's Erin, come on. And Chelsea Randall, 2 more years. 2 more. Ebony Marinoff.
2 years.
2 more.
Ange Foley.
Ange Foley, 3 years. Now, what about Ant thinking bloody Chelsea was gone? Ebony
I thought
Marinoff's
West
gone.
Coast would have.
Loyal.
I love it. It's a credit to whatever they've
just won a premiership, that helps. But they
two of the last three.
They really feel like a family down there. You can just see it in their body language, the way they talk. The players that didn't get to play, Sally Riley, right, dropped for the GF, was around them like she won.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can't buy that. You don't see all the other celebrations of people that didn't even get to play. So, and they were in there, and they were included though, really included in the celebrations and part of the family. So the Crows, you know what, Clarko and Co.
Can I ask you? So how many have we kept of our current list?
Well, we had to turn over.
I'm trying to work that out.
7. We got rid of. Well, we haven't got rid of. We got 7 or 8 with and Jess Allen. Because she's done her...
But she really... she was on the list but wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, well, she was inactive so she could go do her army training. Yeah. And now she's based in Canberra for the next 3 years, at least.
So she'll play
So she's actually been traded to the Giants for pick 43 or something like that.
Yeah, that means something for us.
It doesn't mean as much for us, no. But that would be the 8th player. So you've got... I won't be able to remember them all, but you've got everyone then. So if we've got Jess Allen, you've got Sedge, who went to Saints. We got Jazz Hewitt, who is a big loss. But every year she's been injured, poor darling. But a huge player, and she'd be fantastic off to the Gold Coast. Sarah Perkins was delisted. I hope she gets picked up by somewhere just because she's a great human being. Caitlin Rosenzweig was delisted. That surprised me a little bit, but I can't. That one did surprise me. Yep.
She's still on the list? Or
no, I think Maisie has been delisted. We've kept Ailish Considine, so she's a gun. Maintained her on the rookie list.
What about Ponta as well? We kept
Danielle Ponta. I honestly thought if one could be snagged away, it would be her.
So did I.
So I'm really chuffed that she's got to stay. Oh, mega happy about that.
So did I.
And Stevie Lee, another one that you were concerned that might leave was Stevie Lee Thompson.
So Riley's gone. Lugg.
Yep. Oh yeah, Rhiann Lugg. Yep.
Sedgenary.
Yep, Sedge.
Hewitt.
Yep.
McCormick.
Yep. Oh, McCormick, yep.
Yeah.
And they're still good names. Sally Riley is carving it up for Norwood at the moment. And Norwood are the team to beat. South Adelaide are the reigning premiers in the SANFLW. Yep. And Norwood have only got beaten once this year, and that was last weekend by South, down at South.
Right.
But there was more in it.
So they've followed on with their good work, South.
Very much so.
Sophie Lee staying around.
Sophie Lee, yeah, you gotta love the old Jet Lee getting the jetpack and staying on. But no, Norwood are the team to beat in the SFL. 1 loss for the year. For some reason, the split in the round is in round 9.
Oh.
So round 10, like there's round 9.
Yeah.
And there's only 10 rounds.
Yeah.
And so there's 1 week off.
Right.
And then you play the last round, which for some teams like poor old Sturt and Centrals and the Woodville West Torrens still haven't got a win yet. They're going to have to wait another week for the misery. Yep, Nikki Gorster. For the agony to end. God. But there could be some movement into that top 4.
Yeah, true.
So there's 5 teams vying for the top 4 spot at the moment.
True.
And Glenelg, who Noffy's gone back for, monstered it with 35 disposals. 6 inside 50s. I don't know how many tackles again. Sorry, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
She's a tackling beast.
She just monstered the game, and their forwards did the rest. She didn't even kick goal, but she got it down there for them plenty. So
it's exciting, Ali.
It's good to see the SANFLW bring up some talent, and there is some talent for the women's team there that we're going to have to pick and choose. And there's a lot of AFLW players playing for Norwood, which doesn't surprise me. You got, if I pronounce it correctly, Najwa Allen, ex-Giants, and I think it's Hannah Dunn. I know her last name's Dunn. Both ex-Giants players.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they are carving up the competition. Najwa is monstering everything. And then you've got Holick.
What were they delisted a couple of years ago or something?
Must have been. Then you got Holick, Armstead. Ex from the year before, and then Sally Riley as well playing for Norwood.
Was she a premiership player, Armistead?
Not for
I wonder where Heather Anderson's at. Is she
probably
finished
back
football?
Working? Yeah, she couldn't play. She was awesome. I loved her.
She was good. That
I
pink
really
helmet.
liked her. So her mum could see. I thought that was fantastic. But anyway, so all good news, sunshines and lollipops. If we can get Chloe Shear, Ree Metcalf, this is 3 ACLs we've got. And
Phillips.
Bloody Phillips.
I think she goes around again.
And if she can't go around just coaching, bring her in, make her part of it, because you need people like Erin Phillips in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
As bums on seats.
Absolutely.
Bums on seats.
No, I think she goes around one more time.
And we want another premiership. Just putting that out there.
I think we can do it again.
Oh, Richmond are bleeding a few teams dry, but
but they've got to find a game style. We've found the fact that we've been able to keep that core together. They can just carry on with it and put another layer onto their game style.
Do you think that they won't be doing that? They'll be looking at how we played and what we do, etc., etc.
But they've got to be able to execute that.
I know that, but I'm just.
We were poles of.
They got some good players. They've really got.
Well, I thought North Melbourne had some good players too.
Yeah, but that's a conference system. But we won't go down that path again, will we? But anyway,
Freo had good players too.
Yeah, they did. The AFLW, I just wanted to bring you up to date with that.
West Coast do another. They look alright too, I think.
Oh, we'll wait and see, Anthony. We'll wait and see. I think they're going to be more like Geelong. That's where I'm going with you. Although I hope they do well because I like West Coast, so that's fine. Would you like to get your freak on, Anthony?
Get your freak on.
Get your freak on.
Yeah.
For all you fantasy freaks out there, now I'm going to set this up here because little Mark at ham_man01 has gone on a little rant.
Has he?
Just giving you a heads up, there's some ranting in here, and I'm going to try and do it justice.
Yep.
Because if you're a fantasy football follower, that's the 3 Fs right there, you might have been using another F word.
Yep.
At the end of your fantasy tips.
Oh, Ali.
Round 5 review. You ready to hit this?
Yes.
Rookies outscored premiums, upsets galore, and players out of position. But at least Sam Walsh is there to score 100s and remind us that he's the greatest fantasy rookie we've ever seen. And he's put in a disclaimer here, a rant incoming. Rant. I thought John Longmire was the worst coach for fantasy footy. He refused to play Tom Mitchell in the guts.
Yep.
He played Heaney forward, I love Heaney, and Mills in the back pocket. But, big, bold, capital letters here, Luke Bloody Beveridge, a.k.a. Tank Machine. You played Libert and McRae forward when they're your two best clearance midfielders. Then you played a key forward in Billy Gowers on the ball. You played one of your best defenders in Norton forward, which is excusable if it didn't mean that Caleb Daniel was manned up on Levi Casbolt. You wrecked many fantasy coaches' weekend and you lost to Carlton while giving them their highest score in years. Someone investigate the Dogs for tanking. Well done, you flog. His words, not mine. Moving into the weekly tip.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, I agree. And also he commented, where is it? He sent me another note. He forgot to mention in his rant about Dunkley taking the rucks.
What?
Josh Dunkley had to ruck a couple times. Absolutely shite.
Dunkley?
Yep, shite. Told you. Moving into the weekly tip. It's time to move some rookies. Scrimshaw, Dursma, Clark, Parker, etc. are all getting very close to the maximum price, and it's time to cash in on them. Fallen premiums are your targets, and thankfully we also have plenty of new rookies coming through, as I'll discuss in a moment, Anthony.
Okay.
Defender premium, Alex Witherden. He's had a shocking start to the year, but the last 3 weeks have been the witho we all expected. He takes kickouts, gets involved in the switch, and gets the handball received when they start their attack. He's the total package and a bargain pick right now. Defender rookie. The triannual dual position DPP changes have occurred, and Sydney Stack was given defender status, which allows lucky coaches to switch him into defence. If you don't have him, then L. Young from the Bulldogs might be your guy, although I'm not sold on his job security. Mid-premium, one, Zach Merritt. When the supplement saga happened, one shining light came from it, and it was Zach. He's a fantasy beast when he's on, and Essendon seem to have clicked into gear. He plays the Pies this week, so you can probably wait a week, but this is the cheapest he will get all year. Mid-rookie, Will Hayes. The kid's a bloody gun. He played in the guts and absolutely smashed it with 21 touches and 7 marks. His job security should be solid, but don't be surprised for Beveridge to play him in the ruck or do something stupid.
He's got that ability, Beveridge, to do that. I don't know why.
Tank him. Ruck premium, Grundy Gawn, 1 and 2, but Witts is actually scoring more than Gawn now. Don't be fooled here. He played the Crows without Jacobs, Carlton without Cruiser, Freo without Sandy, St Kilda without Longer, and the Bulldogs with English. He plays Stephen Martin, Max Gawn and Lysette Ryder in the next 4 weeks, and I expect him to be brought back to earth very quickly. Ruck rookie, keep your eyes on Sam Draper, but Bell Chambers is struggling in my opinion, and Clark seems useless.
Yeah.
He's worth a look if he gets a game. Forward premium, the biggest DPP of the lot, was a genuine gift from the fantasy gods, Dustin Bloody Martin. He's been playing forward a lot since Rewalt got injured, but I expect him to return to the midfield very soon. He's dirt cheap after in quotations, troubled first few games, and is very close to, in quotations, must have, unless you have issues at team selection. Forward rookie, Braydem Ham. He debuted and his tenacity was real. Trade him in only if it's so you can turn to your mates and say he's going ham right now when he kicks a goal. Oh, Marky, fantasy freak, you
bloody
funny
West
guy.
Car, I tell you.
God. But that's it. So I hope you're getting some good hints and tips there from the guru himself, old Marky Mark. Fantasy freak on. We need a bit of a tune there. Get your freak on.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Should we look now, bringing us back to earth? Should we look to the next game?
I think we should, Ali.
Let's go into a look at it.
So, we got St Kilda on Saturday.
Yes.
At 4:05.
Yes.
Our time. At Marvel Stadium.
Yes, because it's not at the G, let's face it. So, Anthony, what do we do to win this? What do we do? First, they're out without Geary, isn't it?
Yeah, they're out with... Geary's out.
Yep.
Had that quite a bad corky.
Yeah. He's
how do
opened
we
up
win?
And bled him like a pig.
First and foremost, I think the
Kicked
Saints...
more goals than the Saints.
Yeah.
Yep, I know that part.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically, no.
Yep.
Pressure. Just bring what they brought last week.
Okay, but will the Saints, their game style be similar to Gold Coast? Who
Yeah, it is.
Left to be a bit more free flowing?
I think it's very... I think they play a very similar brand. The difference with St Kilda this year is that they're actually playing for one another.
Yeah,
they're playing as a team.
That. Yep.
And I think they, as a collective, know what their roles are.
Yep.
This
okay.
year.
Well, can I throw a question at you? Rory Sloane will get tagged.
Yeah, by Jack Steele.
And he's one of the best in the business.
Yes. And he's very
Rory's
good at, when he's tagging, doesn't play that total negative role either. He's very good at finding his own possessions. So,
how do we negate that?
I'd play Hugh Greenwood purely in the guts.
Yep. Haven't they just been running him into form, so he will slide forward, I think.
I think so. Yeah, he will. Which to cause a bit of a
a
bit of a mismatch as well.
I think also to manage his fitness.
Because I do agree with you before we went to air, Ali, about Saints' back line. It's not the most talented back line, but they are getting the job done at the same time.
True.
But the thing that I do worry about, which could be a bit of an Achilles heel for us, is their small forwards.
Okay, so...
The Jacks. They've got 5 Jacks.
Oh, really? Jackson Coke?
Yeah, I think they might get under our skin a little bit. But if we can nullify their influence...
Jack
Loney's playing a great game. Jack Nunes is in really good form.
Who do we roll back
Jack
there?
Billings is in good form.
Not having Miller is going to hurt. Would that be fair?
For sure. And I'm looking at a debutant.
A debundant. Oh, really?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, the one we've been going on about for weeks?
He's been, Shoal.
Shoal? Yep.
I think it's time.
Had a good game.
I think it's time.
It's time to open up the vault.
I think it's time.
I've got no problem with that. Okay, let's just write a note. So this is the Nostradamus pants over here. So we want Dr. Shoal in. Okay, yeah, but we've wanted that for weeks.
We have.
Will JJ come back in?
No.
JJ, no.
Big fat no for me.
Big fat no for you. The Berg stays in?
He stays, yep.
Here's my question. I don't think this person, although they're playing down back at the moment, I don't think you'd bring him into the AFL team to play down back because of the said issue with the smalls. I think it would not work and that he would end up looking like a turkey on Christmas Day and be completely stuffed.
Yep.
So, but playing up forward on the other hand, the Fog.
No, too clunky.
Up forward?
Yep. I think having Himmelberg...
Dare.
Tex.
No, that's what I'm talking about, Berg. I like Berg. I think he's
I like the
Berg
because why I like Berg is he offers that second ruck combination.
How can we get Fog into the team?
I don't know who...
His physical pressure is something we need as well. But he's playing down back at the moment to develop his craft, but I don't think he could play on a small forward, correct?
No, I don't think he's got the speed.
Or that agility
the agility.
He's good one-on-one, shoulder-to-shoulder to monster someone,
I'll tell you
correct?
where he could play.
Do you know what? He took some fantastic marks. Like he did a spud, put his head right over the ball and backed into packs and could have got wiped out several times taking marks in defence.
I tell you where he could play though.
Where?
And I really want him to get his endurance up. I'd love to see him on ball. I really would love to see him on ball. I reckon he could do some damage through there.
Oh, geez, yeah. Out that adder. Coming in, streaming down.
Yeah, just coming through like a wrecking ball, Ali.
One arm out and just run.
Like, I think he could really hurt.
So
I can just see him in there.
So Miller is an out.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see Shoal.
Who do I think will come in? Will Jones be able to come straight back in, or does he need a week in the
I
SANFL?
think he needs a week in the SANFL.
That's my question. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring him back in if he's. But if
all right, here you go. The two who I've got in my mind is Shoal or Galucci.
Oh, Gooch. He didn't play. He was the emergency. So then
he's close. Then
does that affect his performance because he didn't get a game?
No, clearly they know what he's all about.
He hasn't been lighting it up, but some players don't light it up in the SANFL.
Correct. Whereas Paholke, he lights it up in the SANFL.
So who are you bringing in? So you're bringing in Gooch for Millera.
Yep.
How does that help us down back?
I just find a way.
That's not.
No, Bryce Gibbs. I leave him in that role.
I'd leave him there, but can he be?
And the other thing we did mention
can he be turned inside out? Because a lot of our players are good offensively. I'm worried about that extra defence on the small players because we haven't got one Luke Brown in the team. Jake Kelly's going to work really bloody hard, I can tell you that much. Because that's where they can catch us.
Hardigan's pretty good on the smalls, though.
Okay, yep.
I think Hardigan's better on the smalls than he is on the tools.
Yeah, I don't know why, but he seems good at it. Yep. Anything else? What else?
Yeah. No, I'm settled with the side. It's just, who comes in for Millera. That's the big.
So we keep it the same.
$1 million question, Ali. I think Himmelberg keeps his spot. I really do. I think
over JJ, yes. Unless they want to bring someone.
You got to remember, it was only his second AFL game too, and he did. He got better. He got better as the game got on.
Played, his first game was on the G, or was it at
Etihad?
Etihad, yeah. Which is Marvel now,
Which is now Marvel. But you got to remember, this is my opinion, is normally how a player finishes a quarter, particularly in the last quarter, starts the same the following week. That's what
your theory?
That's my theory.
You can keep your theories. That's all right. Well, should we move on in now? So we've got our changes. We just got to keep the pressure at them. Get some clean ball movement. Would that be nice?
Yeah.
And watch those small forwards. Devise a plan. First give. But I reckon you'll see, here's my prediction, you'll see a bit more of that little roundabout handball to get it out of defence with the small forwards.
We're a lot better.
With the small forwards, I think we'll do a little bit more of this to get the ball out again.
Okay.
I'm not saying I like
Time
it.
will tell.
Nostradamus shoes, wearing them. Kick a few goals.
Got them on well and truly today.
Now, should we move into tips?
I think we should.
I think we should. Now, the first game, Ant and I already did our predictions, even though the first game's already gone, and one's in flight, but Ant and I had actually done our tips. We both picked the Tigers, because that was a no-brainer. And we both picked the Pies, which the game's actually going at the moment.
I'm going Pies, yes.
I'm going Pies. And the next game, tomorrow, is the old Latte Bushrangers versus the old North Melbourne Kangaroosters.
Believe it or not.
You're going to go?
I'm tipping the Power.
Yeah, I'm tipping the Pear.
But
they should smash them.
If they're the serious... If
they get beaten by North Melbourne at home...
Well, they would have lost 3 games in a row at home.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
So both Power, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too surprised if North Melbourne team went on.
Oh, like against us. Actually, no, they were shite against us. We were just shiter. The next one. Brisbane Lions.
Q Clash.
Yep, the Q Clash. Lions versus
Lions.
Suns. I'm going Lions, yep. St Kilda versus Crows. I'm going to go Crows.
Yeah, Crows.
Oh, God, this one's going to be interesting. Swans versus Giants at the SCG. Considering the Giants just got beaten.
And the Swans.
Could the Swans' season get any worse?
No, I'm going Giants.
Yeah, that's what I'm picking. And, Struggle City. Can the Dockers win 2 in a row against Western Bulldogs?
Yes.
Yeah, Optus Stadium. Let's get the Hawks back on track down at the University of Tasmania and beat Carlton, because I need a death right there.
Yeah, Hawks.
They upset me, Carlton, last week, getting a win. Bloody Bulldogs, that's why. Beveridge is tanking.
Yes.
And probably...
Cats.
Probably the game of the round, it's in their MDMA Stadium. Geelong versus West Coast Eagles. I'm still not convinced about the Eagles, haven't been all year.
No, I'm not.
I'm going to go the Cats, and they're going to sneak back up to the top of the ladder. Not that I'm happy about that.
They are on top of the ladder.
No, Saints are at the moment.
No, they're not.
Aren't they?
No.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, just recapping that, we tipped
agreed
all
on
the
everything.
same.
Yeah.
Ali.
Now you can feel good about yourself, because what's going to happen? You're
We're
not going to
suck
have less
like
than
I have
me.
been all year, Ali. I've been sucking all year.
I bet you have. Well, you have. I saw your tips. Who won tips last week?
You, by 1.
And who won tips last week before that?
You.
Yeah. Doesn't it feel good for me to be winning again? Yes,
but this
it does.
week. So, today,
I just wanted to make you feel good.
We've both got one right today.
Woo! Okay. And then can we death ride Carlton a little bit more?
Death ride. Hashtag death ride.
Hashtag.
TwoCrowsS Footy.
Yeah. Oh, do you think we've rounded it up? We've done a fair bit today.
No, we've been solid today.
Talked about Eddie Betts' brother-in-law's butt. Some interesting topics. We've been around the traps. We've got the AFLW result. We've got Eddie Betts. We've got the Crows back in the winner's circle. Eddie Betts with 6
that
amazing
circle
goals.
of truth worked, Ali.
I think your circle of truth worked as a circle or something. And I was really happy to see the old Tex McCo get on the board too.
No, it was all to do with that beautiful ball movement, Ali.
It was.
Ball
and
movement.
also that JJ was playing in the 2s.
JJ was in the 2s.
If he gets himself right,
It's
you know what? Bring himself straight back in.
It's team selection day as well today. So,
we Nostradamus, we'll see how bad we are. We're usually pretty bad at this though. Picking team selection. You and I,
we are.
We're pretty bad at
We're
that.
not solid
So whatever
at that.
we've said,
This is the complete opposite.
we've gone with we've covered ourselves.
We've gone for a
We've
debundant.
gone Shoal, Jones or Gooch for one spot. And it'll probably be Paholke.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So just wait and see if that happens.
Better not be.
It better not be either. But he played well in that half, and I'm like, yeah, but it's a half.
It's a half of football.
I want more of football.
120 minutes of it.
Exactly. That's my point too.
I want 8 goals, not 5. 4.
But on this beautiful Anzac Day public holiday,
Yes.
Anthony, we'll round up
We've
this
got to
whole
pay
party.
ourselves, haven't we?
Yeah. Hey, cracking on in. But
well,
I just want to can't wait to get back to Adelaide Oval again. The sun is shining down there, 119 points we kicked, trolled Port, got a win against Suns had actually been travelling quite well.
the sun's up.
And we've still got our record of the only
Yeah.
team that Suns haven't beaten, and we increased our winning margin over them yet again.
Oh, wonderful.
And
Yeah.
beautiful percentage, up to 108.
Yeah, no, that grew during that
We
game.
need to do that a couple times, and I reckon one win and that will be equal to a few teams. We get closer to sneaking in the 8.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think if we can start cracking forward from there, we got a couple winnable games.
Well, we win against the Saints. We're 50-50. Season's back on track.
Yep. I do, and thanks for listening.
But we lose against the Saints, Ali. I'm going to be in the corner in my rocking chair.
I'm going to put the locks back on the medicine cabinet when you visit. That's what I'm going to do. But anyway, we'll finish up for the day.
It's amazing how different the podcast is when we've won, isn't it? We're up and
It's
about.
amazing how many listens we get to.
We're really on
through the roof.
really on our toes.
And keep the questions coming in.
On
With
our
us
heels.
private message.
Yeah. Hashtag
carrier,
retweet, like,
pony.
follow,
If you want to send a raven, because
share.
we can put them there. You listen like share, follow,
Hashtag
retweet.
TwoCrowsS Footy. Get around us.
Get around it. Anyway, it's good night for me.
And it's a good night from her.
Thanks, peeps.
Good night.
That's my kind of spicy. Oh!
Brought to you by Two Crows